Hello, hi, this is Cam with another King Tut Productions video. So today we're going to talk about a subject that maybe people already know, but I want to do some debunking. A few months ago, there was a, shall we say, saga between Mr. Andy Omar and Mr. Tim K. So for those of you who don't know, Andy Omar is basically a YouTuber, a troll, for lack of a better word. And he makes videos talking crap about basically anybody that has more subscribers than he does. He's gone after Tim K, he's gone after Rike, Philippines Life in the Sea, he's gone after Brandon Farmer, he's gone after Gio. So this is how he's making a name for himself, by being a provocateur and basically a troll. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. I mean, the National Enquirer is something that has been around for quite some time. So people love gossip and people love drama. But does Andy Omar go too far? We're going to talk about that at the end of the video. But first I want to go into the confrontation. So what happened was, it seems like Andy Omar and Tim K were at the VA hospital near Manila at the same time to get their vaccine. Well, Andy Omar has said a lot of not so kind things about Tim K and his family, and Tim K wasn't too happy about that, and Tim K confronted Andy Omar, and now here's where the story split. Tim K says that Andy Omar basically ran from him because he was scared, because Andy Omar is significantly smaller than Tim K.
Well, we made it inside the Veterans Clinic and we got our passes, and Chrissy got her first chance to step on American soil. But just before that happened, much to my surprise, a troll on the internet who likes to make a lot of fun of me, make up lies about me, make up stuff about anything that I do, and say things like no holds barred against Tim, and we could say whatever we want here, but as soon as he steps out of the embassy and I recognized him and I got right into his face and was very controversial, this is what happens. He gets right into his little phone and he walks into nowhere land where nobody is. He's just trying to get away from me. So yep, keyboard warrior, yeah you are. When you were confronted in person, this is what happened. You ran away like a little child.
Which of course would make Andy Omar just look like the ultimate coward and punk. However, Andy Omar tells a different story. Andy Omar is saying that he told Tim K to F off and that Tim K backed off, but then Tim K zoomed in to make it look like he was pursuing Andy Omar when in fact he wasn't, so Tim K could make himself seem to be the big guy, the big tough guy. So obviously we have two very different stories, so we need to see who is telling the truth and who is probably lying. And so we're going to do that by analyzing the video clip that Tim K posted of him pursuing Andy Omar. And we're going to see, is it possible that Andy Omar's story is true, that in fact Tim K had zoomed in to make it seem like he was pursuing Andy Omar even though he was far away, or if Tim K is telling the truth, that he was in fact following Andy Omar as Andy Omar was running away from him. So we're talking about someone's honor, and some people might ask, well, Cameron, this happened months ago. Why are you making a video about it now? Well, Andy Omar continues to talk crap on his channel about people. So in my mind, it is perfectly fair game, as he is presenting himself as this moral cowboy for the Philippines blogosphere. It's perfectly legitimate for me to analyze him and see how honorable he is and if he's telling the truth. Because if he's not telling the truth, then we have to question if he is this moral saint that he's making himself out to be by going after and pulling out skeletons out of all these other guys' closets.
Here's little Andy Omar walking away from me. There he is. Short, squatty guy.
Okay, so based on looking at this appears to me that Tim is relatively close to Andy, probably not more than 6 or 7 feet away from him. I'm not seeing any evidence of zooming as Andy is insisting, but let's see.
Some freaking big-titted man comes up with his soft breast on my shoulder. Stop harassing my family! Stop harassing family! Leave my family alone! Oh! Screaming like a friend right in front of a bunch of right at the BA, right? Like a bunch of people at the BA. And I'm like, what the? I'm on a video call, right? And I'm just walking away. And this dude just comes up, stop harassing my family! Like a Karen, starts screaming and shit. And then I didn't know he was still following me, dude. I was just walking away. And I told him, get how far you have to zoom in order to be like pretending to be following me. Oh Lord, you're nothing but a piece of shit. In front of everybody playing patsy. Oh, that's him.
All right, so what we're going to do to see if Andy Omar is telling the truth as to whether or not Tim was zooming in is we're going to do our own little experiment to see what a recording of zooming in on someone would look like versus the same recording with that person not zoomed in. So I'm going to have my assistant, in quotes, she's going to record me both walking with her following me and the first one with me zoomed in, and you'll be able to see the difference is really obvious. Okay, so this is what someone following me would look like if they're holding their phone and following me. Now, here's what a video would look like if someone was just zooming in on me as I'm walking away. Now, you see how in the zoomed in version, the image is a lot more grainy, the quality is significantly poor, and you can see the handshakes. Even if someone is trying their best to hold the phone steady, when you zoom in, the shake of the hands become much more apparent. So I think we can safely conclude that no, Tim K was not zooming in on Andy, and he was in fact following him, and Andy was basically trying to pretend he was on his phone and running from him. Alright, so the analysis is done, and the conclusion is very solid. I gave Andy Omar's story the best possible chance of working, and it didn't. It's pretty obvious that Andy Omar is lying. Now, I want to go into why I wanted to take the time to make this video. Andy, look, if you're going to make yourself out to be this moral cowboy and pulling up the skeletons out of everyone's closet, then you darn well better be willing to have the same thing done to you. I mean, I didn't have a problem when you're going after Enrique because I got kind of a weird vibe from him. So I kind of believe a lot of the things you said about him. But then you just started going way too far and just going after anyone that you could, basically like a cyberbully, going after people that had done absolutely nothing to you just for views. And so I want people to see that this act of him acting like this moral cowboy is just not the case. He's doing it for the same reason that most people make YouTube videos. He wants attention. And so don't believe him when he comes off as, oh, taking care of his own. And I think what really, really made me want to make this video about you is when you uploaded that video of Tim K's kid basically using a child to settle a YouTube score. Everybody on this planet knows when you have a messy divorce, there are a lot of women who unfortunately will not hesitate to use a child to get what she wants from the man. And she will tell the child things to make them resent their father. So this is a small child, probably that has been told all his life by his mother that his father doesn't love him and that his father just went to the Philippines and basically everything is his father's fault. So of course she can get him to say whatever she wants him to say. And it sounds like they're in some sort of legal battle. So it makes perfect sense. And that was none of your business. Now, if Tim K had been selling a course on how to be Father of the Year, then absolutely that's relevant. But otherwise, that's none of your freaking business what's going on between him and his son. And you don't care about his son. You just want to basically get attention for yourself on YouTube. And I think that's the bridge that you crossed with me. And so I find people that just have no boundaries, who are willing to do whatever it takes just for fame or to get a buck, are some of the most morally reprehensible people out there. And so that's why I'm taking the time to show people who you really are. So I hope that you guys understand why I made this video. Thank you. God bless.